I was a bit disappointed to start with. It's like a man's drawer. It's full of bits that you never want to throw away, but it might come in useful one day.
For years, viewers admired the on-screen chemistry between Drew Pritchard, his ex-wife Rebecca, and their lovable co-star John T. But fans were blindsided when Rebecca and John both abruptly left the show, without a clear explanation. Then came the whispers. Was there a secret affair? Was Drew forced to fire a lifelong friend? Or were these just unfounded conspiracy theories gone viral? From suspicious timing to viral TikToks and a mysterious assault allegation, we're diving deep into the tangled triangle behind Salvage hunters. We'll reveal never-before-explored connections and long-hidden drama. Based on social media claims, fan forums, news reports, and insider analysis. Here's the truth behind the affair rumors, the reason Rebecca left, and whether John T. was pushed out. The dance of chemistry on screen. From the very beginning, Salvage Hunters stood out not just for its focus on antiques, but for the characters at the heart of the show. Drew Pritchard, with his sharp eye and relentless drive, and Rebecca Pritchard, with her calm, meticulous professionalism, formed a duo that viewers quickly came to love. Even after their divorce in 2017, they maintained a working relationship that seemed functional, if not exactly warm. Their interactions on camera remained smooth and professional, almost as if their personal life had little bearing on their business dynamic. For a while, it seemed like the show would continue without disruption. Then came John T. Introduced to the audience in Season 8, John brought a new kind of energy. Originally meant to be just a driver and occasional assistant, he quickly became a fan favorite. With his tall frame, easy humor, and willingness to get his hands dirty, John fit in seamlessly with Drew's eccentric approach to the business. But what stood out most was how the energy shifted whenever John was on screen with Rebecca. Their light banter, shared glances, and moments of laughter didn't go unnoticed by fans. It was chemistry, undeniably, whether romantic or simply the result of shared experience. Discussion about John and Rebecca's chemistry soon became almost commonplace in fan communities on forums and Reddit threads. This led people to compile video clips that betrayed all sorts of connections between the two, joking together, exchanging long, deep looks, and working closely on restoration projects. While it is well known that Rebecca is generally reserved and composed, she appeared to loosen up around John. Some speculators argue that Drew may have noticed this energy as well. In fact, Drew was much more reserved when both John and Rebecca were present, his sharp wit being blunted somehow compared to earlier seasons. The fans started reading in between the lines. Were these three professionals just working? Or was something more going on beneath the surface? Social media acted as a powerful medium, driving the narrative. Viewers speculated that drama happened behind the scenes and was more gripping than anything on screen. Some even joked that Salvage Hunters had become a relationship drama being disguised as an antique restoration show in slow motion. During this time, the increasing likes and shares of speculative posts contributed to a long-standing theory about the changing emotional landscape of the show. Behind the scenes, nothing was public. Apparently, the production crew hushed things up surrounding their personal developments. Neither Rebecca nor John wanted to comment about the mounting clamor regarding their relationship. And again, that silence was further fuel to the growing flames. Fans started debating timelines, pointing out how Rebecca seemed to change once John came on the scene, and in more subtle ways, how Drew appeared to change ever so slightly. For the loyal longtime viewers, this tension was too real to miss, especially given Rebecca and Drew's known history. By the time John T. became bona fide co-star with Drew and Rebecca, the whole story of the Drew-Rebecca-John triangle had settled comfortably in the backdrop of both the action and audience consciousness. However much their relationship was debated as a surface product of long scripts and filming hours together, it seemed, in fact, an open question, since from the start, this was a show that was supposed to be about antiques. The dynamics that unpicked the tightly woven world of salvaging became a larger part of the final work than the antiques. A harmless working relationship, or was something quietly brewing off-camera? The affair rumors. The rumor mill surrounding Salvage Hunters kicked into high gear not long after Rebecca and Drew Pritchard's divorce in 2017. While the couple continued to appear on screen together, speculation began to swirl about Rebecca's growing closeness to co-star John T. Internet forums were the first to stir the pot, pointing out how the pair seemed unusually comfortable during long-distance trips and joint restoration segments. It wasn't long before social media influencers and amateur sleuths picked up the trail, leading to a flood of fan theories claiming the working relationship between Rebecca and John had developed into something far more personal. One of the earliest viral posts came from TikTok, where a video stitched together smiling interactions between Rebecca and John, set to romantic music, claimed that the chemistry was real, on and off screen. A now infamous quote from that video stated, "John T. didn't just salvage antiques, he salvaged Rebecca's heart." Though clearly exaggerated for entertainment value, the clip garnered over 1 million views and kickstarted a wave of similar content. Comment sections exploded with speculation, questions, and even support for a potential new couple forming behind the scenes of the show. Rebuttal from shockingly titled gossip channels on YouTube joined. There were titles like "The Real Reason Rebecca Left Salvage Hunters" and "Inside the Hidden Love Triangle of Drew, Rebecca, and John." They brought videos with dramatic narration and slow-motion footage of eye contact and body language between Rebecca and John, framing their friendship something much more. One such video claimed that multiple sources confirmed that a romantic relationship was growing during production shoots, especially on out-of-town trips when Drew was absent. Although this claim was never confirmed by anyone associated with the show, it only got more traction as both John and Rebecca went quiet on social media. Fans could not resist the idea of a secret love triangle. Many construed the silence of the stars of the show as a choice of privacy, rather than a matter of fact. The idea that Drew might have found out about the affair after the divorce formed another tantalizing dimension to the narrative regarding the ongoing show. It was suggested among fan theories that what the audience was watching was not merely a renovation series, but was actually a quiet unraveling of personal relationships exposed in plain view. The public was drawn even more into the mystery, since neither Rebecca nor John spoke on the rumors directly, allowing all the speculation to flourish. In no time at all, as soon as Rebecca had walked out on Salvage Hunters, the rumors had gained so much traction that they were almost accepted beliefs among the fans. The viewers felt that there was something deeper than the decision of a woman to leave. Her departure from the show was looked upon as a tangible proof that something had gone wrong behind the scenes, something that made it too hard for her to stay on the show. This theory became more widely circulated as soon as the other reason for John T.'s departure emerged, driving the conspiracy that whatever fallout from the alleged affair forced both of them out of the limelight, and perhaps altogether out of Drew Pritchard's life. There has been no concrete evidence to either prove or deny this rumor of an affair. Yet it still remains. These rumors got into the mythology of Salvage Hunters, now forever attached to the era most watched and discussed in the history of the show. Whether somewhat founded in reality, or simply fanned from bits and pieces of fan imagination, the alleged romance between Rebecca and John T. has turned into a legend, leaving an indelible mark on the show itself. Wherever reruns are being played, and viewers are still discovering the chemistry among this trio, rumors will undoubtedly prevail. Unfounded, unresolved, and endlessly fascinating. These claims were never confirmed by the cast, but the internet wasn't done digging. Rebecca's mysterious exit. When Rebecca Pritchard quietly disappeared from Salvage Hunters in 2021, it left fans stunned and deeply curious. For years, she had been the show's calm, focused counterpart to Drew's energetic negotiating style. She played a critical role in appraising, restoring, and repurposing the antiques that Drew tracked down across the UK and Europe. Her presence brought balance, not just to the business, but to the show's overall tone. Yet when she vanished, there was no farewell episode, no public announcement, no official reasoning. Viewers were left to guess, and guess they did. The silence surrounding her exit only intensified speculation. Fans quickly began connecting the dots between her divorce, the rising on-screen rapport with John T., and her sudden departure. The timing felt too deliberate for many to dismiss. Rebecca left just as Drew was rebranding himself in spin-offs like Salvage Hunters, The Restorers, and taking a more solo-centric approach to the brand. Some began to theorize that her exit wasn't just about personal choice, it was about cleaning the slate. As Drew leaned further into the spotlight, some believed the lingering tension and rumors had made Rebecca's continued presence uncomfortable, if not unsustainable. One of the most widely circulated rumors came from a 2022 blog post that claimed Rebecca's departure was not entirely her own decision. The post quoted an unnamed insider who alleged that Drew gave her an ultimatum following the discovery of a relationship with John T. According to this claim, Drew was blindsided and furious, but wanted to avoid a public scandal. The solution, the blog suggested, was a quiet, dignified exit for Rebecca. No confrontation, just a gradual disappearance. While this remains a rumor, it captured the imagination of fans and became a popular explanation on Reddit and Facebook discussion groups. Compounding the mystery was the way Rebecca handled her departure on social media. She posted no explanations, no goodbyes, no indication that anything was amiss. Instead, she simply faded from the show's orbit. For someone who had been so central for nearly a decade, the lack of closure was hard for longtime viewers to accept. In interviews before her departure, she'd spoken positively about her role and her ability to work with Drew post-divorce, making her exit even more puzzling. Fans who tried to reach out via comments or direct messages received no responses, further deepening the sense that something behind the scenes had gone wrong. Another theory that gained popularity suggested Rebecca may have grown tired of the show's direction. With Drew taking more ownership and the spotlight shifting toward him alone, some believed she had simply become sidelined. Combined with persistent personal rumors and alleged friction with Drew, this created a narrative where Rebecca decided it wasn't worth staying involved. Yet, even this theory often looped back to the alleged emotional entanglements between her and John T., reinforcing the idea that personal matters may have influenced professional decisions. Whatever the truth, one thing was clear. Rebecca's quiet exit only deepened the mystery. John T.'s disappearance. When John T., affectionately known as T., left Salvage Hunters, fans were shocked and suspicious. His presence on the show had grown steadily from sidekick to star. His hands-on style, dry humor, and easy rapport with both Drew and Rebecca had made him a fan favorite. So, when episodes suddenly aired without him, and no formal statement was made by the production team, loyal viewers immediately started asking questions. Why would someone so integral to the show vanish without a word? Theories began to swirl. many tying his departure directly to the show's deepening off-screen drama. The first public explanation was that John left for health reasons. A few tabloid-style sources hinted he needed time off to focus on himself, though no specific condition was mentioned. Another rumor suggested he was simply pursuing other creative avenues, possibly returning to his theatrical or acting roots. These explanations were tame, but did not seem to satisfy viewers who had closely followed the rumored behind-the-scenes drama. As with Rebecca's earlier departure, vagueness only ramped up the speculation. The sudden nature of his absence, combined with the increase in rumors regarding his personal relationship with Rebecca, made his fans wonder whether indeed he had left of his own will. Drew Pritchard had quietly fired John T. was among the most popularly discussed rumors. Online fan forums lit up with theories that Drew, already going through his divorce with Rebecca and a public image overhaul, considered John a liability. Some Reddit users claimed that they noticed tension visible between John and Drew toward the end of the last episodes that were filmed with both of them. Others pulled out the old interviews and production stills, claiming a clear tension was visible. Although none of this was confirmed by the network or cast, the steady echo of these theories across the platforms made them increasingly feel plausible to the show's audience. It had been quite a persistently floating theory that had come out of an old fan forum post, which claimed Drew and John hadn't exactly been chit-chatting for months before John finally decided to leave. The poster, who claimed to be close to the crew, alleged that Drew felt cheated by a person whom he considered a family. This cryptic line has caused quite a stir of interpretation. Was the betrayal characterizing a professional, personal, or romantic kind? Many directly connected this post to the long-standing rumors of infidelity involving Rebecca and John, and concluded Drew's reaction was one of quiet vengeance. If true, then it would turn John's departure from a decision to a consequence. To fan the flames of controversy, John, like Rebecca, had nothing, absolutely nothing, to say publicly about a departure. No Instagram posts, no goodbye tweets, not even a vague thank you to fans. For an individual who had been in the public eye for over a decade, the radio silence felt eerie. It fed into the narrative that something messy had occurred behind the scenes, something that all parties had agreed not to discuss publicly. Time only heightened this silence into a statement that was interpreted by fans as confirmation that tensions had erupted off-camera. And then came the biggest bombshell of all: an old scandal involving Drew and a mysterious assault. The assault allegation and fallout. In 2017, a shocking rumor began circulating online about Drew Pritchard, the central figure of Salvage hunters. According to multiple online forums and UK tabloid gossip threads, Drew was allegedly assaulted outside a pub by the husband of a woman he was rumored to be romantically involved with. While no formal police reports or legal documentation ever surfaced, the story spread rapidly, partly because it seemed to coincide with Drew's divorce from Rebecca and the noticeable tension building within the show's cast dynamic. The timing was too compelling for fans to ignore, and the rumor took on a life of its own. The alleged assault became a flashpoint for fan speculation. Many began to connect the dots between this story and the rumors of an affair involving John T. and Rebecca. One widely shared theory suggested that the husband who attacked Drew wasn't a stranger at all, but someone much closer to home. Whispers circulated that the supposed altercation was less about a random extramarital fling and more about betrayal within the tight-knit Salvage hunters family. Though the original accusation didn't name anyone directly, the idea that Rebecca or someone close to her might have been involved made the story even more salacious. This rumor centered on Drew, painting him less as a successful dealer of antiques and more as a man embroiled in personal conflict and emotional turmoil. The purported attack rendered his public persona vulnerable in a way his fans had never seen. Viewers began to rewatch episodes from that period for glimmers of changes in Drew's demeanor, some claiming he appeared more guarded, irritable, or distracted during on-screen negotiations. Whether true or just retroactive flights of fancy, these interpretations added to the growing narrative that all was not well with the show behind the camera while its surface unity was being maintained. The speculated assault conveniently transformed into a focal point for fans' theories regarding the reason many relationships on the show appeared to be in turmoil. If Drew were to have been publicly humiliated or emotionally wounded by a trusted peer, all would have made sense with subsequent shakeups in the cast. The eventual disappearance of Rebecca, as well as the later exit of John T., were both viewed through this confrontation. To the well-versed fans, the kidnapping or assault was not an isolated event. It was the emotional detonation that cut the very foundations of Salvage hunters in half. While the other cast members did not speak out against the assault rumor, nor did Drew or Rebecca give any subsequent interviews that would even indirectly reference it, John T. unsurprisingly maintained his silence. This lack of confirmation did not sway fans. If anything, it piqued their interest further. There were threads and discussions on Digital Spy and Reddit, where wild theories evolved into detailed timelines and diagnoses of personalities. Some so-called insiders made claims, suggesting that there was perhaps drama behind the curtains that could never be aired due to legal and/or contractual restrictions. And the more silence observed on the part of the stars, the more oxygen such rumors received. Years later, the alleged assault remains one of the most mysterious and talked-about moments in Salvage hunters' off-screen history. Though it was never addressed officially, the rumor fundamentally shifted how fans viewed the show and its cast. Episodes were rewatched with new suspicion, small interactions were overanalyzed, and even minor social media posts were dissected for hidden meanings. For some, the mystery added an irresistible layer of intrigue. For others, it cast a permanent shadow over the show's easygoing image. Either way, it ensured that Salvage hunters would be remembered for more than just antiques and restoration projects. If you found this deep dive fascinating, hit like, subscribe, and check out our next video on the most shocking exits in reality TV history. What do you think happened between Rebecca, Drew, and John T? Drop your theories in the comments. We're reading all of them.